Joining us right now is Rakesh Rao, a senior sports journalist. Rakesh Rao, your first thoughts on Bishan Saab passing away. It's a sad day for Indian cricket and every cricket lover across the world.
So true. For me, because I've had the honor and the privilege of spending a lot of my time with him. In fact, when he was a coach of the Punjab team way back in 92-93, that was the only season when Punjab became the Ranji Trophy champions. So I had the honor of just being with the team right from the quarterfinals, semi-final, final, and he actually called me the lucky charm of the team. I mean, I don't think in today's world a journalist would ever be termed by a team coach that you are our lucky charm and you should travel with us. So for me, his personality, his persona, apart from his contribution to the game of cricket and to the art of spin, undoubtedly the greatest left-arm spinner the game has seen, and above all, extremely humble, knowledgeable. Yeah. And at the same time, he had a way with words. He would always speak his mind. He won't hold back his, horses. He would always speak, and he was ahead of his time for sure, because the kind of ideas that he had. And I remember his words like, every time he would see the fielders and he would say, Rakesh, always remember, son, that there is no substitute for youth. That means you got to make the most of your days when your limbs are functioning at their best. And that is where he would always emphasize on good fielding. And he was such a tough coach. He would make even the last man, even the wicket keeper run all the way for almost 7 rounds, 8 rounds. And he was tough. But he had a heart of gold.
He absolutely did. And even after retirement, Bishan Saab, he continued to be the same outspoken voice that the cricketing world has always seen. He made sure that he expressed his views on whatever issues that were related to the game. How do you see that side of Bishan Saab?
For me, Sama, he was because he was so well informed, so well read. I remember every time he returned from UK, his trunks would be full of books. And he would actually share those ones. He would actually say, I have read this, you should read X book or Y book. That's the way, he always believed in sharing what he knew. And also, he called a spade at the same time. That is because I think he knew so much about so many aspects of the game and life in general. Cricket in particular, but then yes, I think what made him different was that a lot of people choose diplomatic ways of being, but he always called a spade a spade.
Yes, absolutely. And when it comes to the art of left-arm spin bowling, he has in fact inspired an entire generation and even more, hasn't he?
Absolutely. I had the pleasure of playing in the same game. After he joined the Sports Authority of India, we used to have these games between SAI and the Delhi Sports Journalists Association. And I remember once I was at the non-striker end, and one of our colleagues hit him for a straight hit. And then he applauded that shot. And before he bowled the next ball, he said, Rakesh, just watch his middle stump. And he got his middle stump of the very next ball. So, he was competitive even at that age. And, I've never heard, the sound of a ball leaving, like a hand of a left arm spinner. That's the only time I heard how a ball sounds like when it leaves, a great guy's hand, obviously. So, for me, it was learning process all through. And at a very personal level too. And I remember when I lost my one of my parents, he was the first one to call. It was 6:30 in the morning. And he spoke to me for about half an hour without allowing me to utter a word, because he says, I know what you are going through. And what he said, I'm going to carry it to my grave for sure.
Rakesh Rao, when it comes to cricket and his contribution to Indian cricket, what can you say about his legacy to Indian cricket, and what did he and how did he contribute to what we see today, and the way cricket, especially in India, is played right now?
See, for me, from where I saw him, I thought when it came to doing your job to the best of your ability, I mean, he wanted everybody to realize their potential. And that came only if you were focused on what you were supposed to do. So, in one word, discipline. I haven't seen a guy who played so much of emphasis on being disciplined. And I mean, the way he built that Punjab team, I remember it was a team without stars. The only one remotely close to that status was like Navjot Singh Sindhu, and he was available only for the last match against Maharashtra. And I also recall that when Sidhu failed, I think he was run out or something. On the first day of the game, I mean, the moment the game ended, now imagine here he set an example. He called Navjot Singh Sidhu, asked him to pad up, complete with his, helmet, and he made him run around the ground with his bat over his head. That was like a military training. He said, just because you were lax and also remember that he had just finished. I mean, Sidhu had just returned from a 6-match one-day series against England at home. And he gave him no respite. I mean, no long rope for him. He was ruthless when it came to discipline. He said, you look lazy to me. And then there is no excuse. So that is what he brought. I mean, but just the way he treated one of your stars, he made an impact on the remaining 15 guys who were watching this entire thing, because they knew that if he could get so tough with the hero of the team, I mean, for him, everybody was an equal. And that is what he brought to the Indian cricket as well.
Yeah.
Even when he traveled with the team, even when, when he was there to contribute in a much bigger way, I think he just made sure that he treated everybody equally.
Yeah,
and he gave Delhi cricket an identity which it never had. I mean, if I just go back to the 70s and the 80s, ever since I started watching him, during those days, it was all about Bombay and Maharashtra, Bombay and, like West Zone. He was among those people who believed that Delhiwalas could actually win. The North Indians could do well. And that was the spirit that he brought. I think that was something very special.